What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of DC Action Hour. Yeah! All right, what's up? My name is Jeff from Super Geeked Up. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We are talking the latest episodes of Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. These would be the Halloween week episodes that we just did. I'm joined as always by my co-host Marx Pyle.
Hello, everyone.
And joining us once again for the second week in a row, guest co-host from Sci-Fi Pulse, Ian Cullen.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome. Ian, your audio just went really low for some reason. Get closer. All right, very good. Okay, in the live chat, we already got some people here. Lister's Mate is here. By the way, it's actually Anthony's Lister's Mate. It's his birthday today, so please, let's wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Lister's Mate has been one of our most awesome supporters of all my Super Geeked Up stuff and of this show as well. So happy birthday to you, sir. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. Hope you had an awesome one. Hope maybe you're eating some cake right now. That'd be good. Eagle Scout 188 says, I'm here. I think that might be Derek, Lister's Mate nephew, maybe. Let me know if that is. Or if not, if it's just some other Eagle Scout. Excellent. Eagle Scouts are very important. That's good. Good job. You're in your Eagle Scout.
Yes.
Hey, do you guys have the Boy Scouts in England, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually Cayden Pyle. He was a British guy who actually formed the Boy Scouts.
Oh, thank you.
That's what we did.
I didn't know that. That's good information. Here's another question for you. Do you guys celebrate Halloween in England?
Well, we have been since the 80s, as far as I can tell. I don't think we ever did before. I mean, we certainly didn't as a family, but it's been, we have to trick our treaters and stuff like that. I usually go at them with shotgun.
Oh, come on. Well, maybe there'll be a time anachronism, and you'll have an alien dominator back in the 80s under your bed. We'll talk about that later with...
I think I've got one actually in here. It's called a cat.
Yeah. Victor Snyder also just joined us in the chat. Hello, Victor. He's also wishing a happy birthday to Lister's Mate. And yes, Derek is the Eagle Scout. Okay, great. Thank you guys for joining us. Please share your thoughts. We like to hear them. We're going to get into all the shows in just a minute. But of course, we always like to start with our super tweet question, which is where we just ask a fun question and answer this. And I'm going to turn this over to Mark because I'm still trying to think of my answer.
Yeah, sure. So let's say if Mixie grants you a wish for any villain that has not yet appeared on DCCW to appear on the show, which villain would it be? So basically a villain from the comic books that has yet to appear on the DCCW shows. What about you, Ian? What do you say? What say you?
I'd go with Lobo because be fun to have a villain riding in on a motorcycle, and he's a bounty hunter, so he can either... he can kind of choose whatever side he's on, given, who he's working for, sort of thing. So, there's no ideology there. It's just sort of like about the money and the hunt, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a fun twist. And, I think probably the best one for Legends, as you say. Yeah,
it fits the tone of the show, especially recently.
Yeah, I want to see Lobo go head to, face on with Mick Rory. I think that'd be an interesting duel.
I feel like Lobo's a little stronger, but I guess it depends upon how they adapt him.
Yeah, Lobo would be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, he would be. That's why I was disappointed last season whenever Supergirl had a alien bounty hunter come after her. I was really disappointed it wasn't Lobo. So, oh well.
Mm-hmm. We missed Hobo.
Come on.
I would like to see I think the big villain I would like to see would be Darkseid. I know we haven't seen him yet. I know they kind of did Darkseid a little bit back in Smallville days, but we haven't really got a good live action, development of Darkseid and Apocalypse and all his minions. I think that'd be kind of cool to explore.
Did we? I love Smallville. I'm trying to think. We got what can I ever think? But what's the guy from Darkseid? The guy he always sends, or the guy who killed Superman in the comics? And it was a Batman v Superman.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. We got Doomsday in Smallville that one season. Did we actually get Darkseid? Did he appear?
I thought we did. Wasn't that what he fought in the end?
Oh shit! The very as the series was finale was wrapping up. Oh, you're right. You're right. That's right. I didn't actually. That was actually kind of a weak season. I felt so. That's probably what I remember.
It was a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like a well-developed, fleshed-out dark side. There's been some reboots that they played around with before, that a lot of stuff they could use to make it interesting and different than the movie. So.
Yeah, I wonder though if they're, because the movie's doing it, if they're gonna try to shy away from doing that.
I don't know. I hope they don't. I wish Warner Bros. Would quit doing that. I think it's silly to sabotage. I mean, you're making. Yeah. You're handcuffing yourself for no reason. So.
I hear you. I'm with you, man. In the chat, Victor says Raleigh and Lobo. Raleigh. Who's Raleigh?
I don't know.
Who are you? No,
that's Ralph Dibny and Wally West have a baby.
That would be great. Wait, you were talking about Rory. I'm sure he meant the type Rory, probably. Rory and Lobo, I'm going to assume that, would sit around drinking beer and trading war stories. Yeah, he meant Rory. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Personality-wise, that'd be great together. That'd be some good scenes.
Eagle Scout 188 in the chat says, I'd like to see them add Killer Croc on Flash, even though he's a Batman villain. I'd like to see the next season, have him team up with Grodd and King Shark. That'd be very interesting, actually. Those three together. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and we've not seen much of King Shark. We only seen him briefly in the last series.
Mm-hmm. He's been on twice, but it's been brief. That's why I said sometime last season on this show, I said it would be great to have like a zoo. I forgot what I called him. But anyway, a Legion Zoo. I don't know. Anyway, that it would have King Shark and Gorilla Grodd and Cheetah team up. I think that would be pretty sweet.
Nice.
I got a quick question for you guys, actually. We've got Justice League coming out next month, right?
Correct. Actually, in 2 weeks, I think.
Are you guys going to be doing a review of it on the on DC Hour?
Well, our guest is actually going to be Jean-Paul Estes, and he's been on our show before. He's already told me he's going to see opening night, so he will. I asked him actually to give his review when he comes on the show. I almost guarantee you I will not see it beforehand, because I refuse to see movies when they first come out, because there's too many people. But anyway, yes, I think at least one of us will. Maybe Mark's too, if he sees it quickly. But
possibly, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll talk about it for sure.
Can't wait to see Thor Ragnarok. Hopefully that doesn't get me in trouble with everyone.
Oh my God! How dare you? Just, you know we bring up Marvel sometimes.
Hulk smash!
That Thor, by the way, is shattering, or not shattering, but it's making a lot of money, man. More than they thought. It blows away the other two Thor movies in terms of how much it's making at the box office.
Yeah, I think they found the right formula for Thor.
It's also got, I think, just about the highest fresh rating on critic-wise Rotten Tomatoes of any Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Good. Glad.
For what that's worth.
I might go see it this week.
It's nice to show. Not very often you see a third movie in a series be like, one of the freshest one. Usually they're like, why did you make another one for?
Yeah. No, I know. That's what they're saying. All the sequels are actually making less money now, so it's bucking the trend.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's see here. My answer. I'm also going to borrow from a Batman villain, because I think Batman villains are the best villains in pretty much any comics. I'm gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing Poison Ivy, because I think Poison Ivy is an awesome character. I don't think we're gonna see this, of course, because Gotham, if anywhere, she's gonna go. I don't know.
Well, she's already on.
Is she in Gotham? I don't watch Gotham, so
yeah.
Okay.
Not very good though.
Oh no, I did know she was in Gotham. I saw the very intro to her when she's like young though, right? She's like a teenager.
No, she's now a fully grown woman now. She kind of went.
She started as a teenager, right? Though.
Yeah, she started as a preteen, I think. She must have been about 12 or something.
How did she rapidly age then?
I don't know. She kind of went into some sort of chrysalis thing and came out with Poison Ivy.
Oh, some kind of weird plant thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of did the same. They've done the same with Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy was sort of like Penguin's henchman, Penguin's main henchman, the guy.
Yeah.
And he kind of he was dead. He got dumped into a swamp near some nuclear waste, and he came out as Solomon Grundy.
All right. Yep. That nuclear swamp, that'll do it to you.
So you gotta be careful where you put your nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get a bunch of dead people.
Yeah.
And, craziness.
Anyway, so I'm trying to think Poison Ivy though. I'm thinking maybe Flash would be the best fit. It could be kind of maybe she starts seducing people and it causes problems. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Flash.
Yeah,
or
Poison
Arrow.
Ivy.
Maybe Arrow. I think maybe Arrow too. I think those are the two.
Yeah,
that...
Poison Ivy versus King of Frost. Now that's the doom I want to see.
Oh, there you go. That's a good
Cool,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, now imagine them making out. All right. Anyway. Okay, let's get back to the chat. In the chat, Victor says, sorry for the poor spelling with Raleigh. He was the victim of a wild puppy attack. No problem. Understand. And Eagle Scout wants to know, are you guys going to talk about Titans when it releases? Titans is going to be on the DC streaming service, right, Marx?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
DC All Access.
So I have a feeling, because Marx is so excited for the show, he's been talking about it for years. He's might subscribe to it. I will not, most likely, because I do not want to start paying for a million different services to watch shows. So I don't know. Are you planning though to like check it out?
I probably will check it out and see. I don't think it's going to be. I'm almost certain it won't be in continuity of Arrowverse at all. But of course, I guess that doesn't mean they can't cross over at some point with a multiverse. But I don't know. I think it's a missed opportunity anyway because it got so many sidekicks in Arrowverse. It'd be great to see a team show like that.
Has that Constantine animated series started yet?
Don't think so.
Soon.
It's supposed to be on CWC or something.
Yeah. You know what? I might subscribe to the DC thing for like a month, maybe just so I can see how Titans is, and also if they like put up like maybe all like the DC animated movies and all that like other stuff they've done. You know,
I think they're supposed to. I think you're supposed to have a lot of that.
So if I can get, because there's actually a lot of those animated movies I haven't seen, like all the shows I've seen, but the TV animated, but I might do that then. That might be worth it. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, Lister's Mate's talking about there needs to be more Livewire on the DC shows, not just Supergirl. Yeah, he loves Livewire. Livewire is pretty cool.
Yeah, she was.
I'm sure she'll come back. I'm sure this season. She's been every other season.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get her at least one more time again this season.
Anyway, Eagle Scout, to answer your question, though, we do stick to the CW shows. That's kind of the deal with this show, because they're all kind of connected. So, we may mention Titans if we see it, but it won't be a regular thing, just like Gotham isn't either.
Yeah, and I do watch Gotham. I'm probably the only person in the room that watches Gotham.
I watched the first half of the first season, man, but then I didn't really like it. So
it's gotten better though. I mean, the first season was pants. But it's kind of, I think it's gotten better.
Pants means
Did you
bad,
say
right?
pants?
Pants. That means bad, right?
Yeah.
They're like soiled pants?
Yeah, that's what...
So is it shirts? Is that good? No. All right. Let's. That's our super tweet. If you're watching in post, of course, you can share your comments in the YouTube comment section or tweet us at Super Geeked Up. Carrie Johnson just joined us. Hello, Carrie. We just finished talking about what villain we would like to appear in one of the DC CW shows who hasn't been there yet. So please feel free to share your thought in the live chat. Now we're going to move into talking about all the different shows. And by the way, folks, Amy Gumanek, who plays Cupid, was originally supposed to appear tonight. She booked a film, so she couldn't make it. Apologies. I know it's 2 weeks in a row now. Trust me, we really want these guests on, and we are rescheduling all of them. So hopefully the next bunch of weeks we'll have guests on. But that's unfortunate. That's the world of film. You never know when somebody's going to book something, and that happens. So
I think we should tell them that it's for an audition for a J.J. Abrams film.
Oh, so yeah, it's an audition for episode 9 of Star Wars.
Yes. Oh yeah, that would get everybody there. Yeah. No one skips Star Wars.
As long as it's not Star Trek 4.
Well, no, he's not doing any more Star Trek stuff. I mean, outside of producing them still, but
thankfully.
I like the last one actually. Beyond was quite good.
Yeah, I think the last one was the best of the three.
I agree.
I think that second one kind of.
That's the one that really killed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, folks. We're gonna talk Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends. We will start with Arrow. This is actually let me put my Arrow screen on. This is season 6, episode 4. The episode is called Reversal, written by Sarah Tarkoff and Emilio Ortega Aldrich, directed by Gregory Smith. So in this episode, the team tries to figure out why Black Siren is killing apparently random people, and Alina, from Helix asks Felicity for help stopping Cayden James from blowing up the internet. All right, so all right, let's talk this episode. Let's start with this. I want to start, which I think everybody had predicted this, and we saw it came true, that Michael Emerson is indeed playing Cayden James. So if you don't know, folks, Michael Emerson most recently is from Person of Interest, which is a show I liked a lot. Before that he was on Lost. So what did you guys think of Emerson as? Oh, by the way, in the chat, sorry, before I ask you, Victor says, "Come on, Star Trek Beyond was good." Yeah, no, we're agreeing with you. Beyond, I think, was the best one.
Yeah, it's great.
We're with you with that. So, anyway, what did you guys think of Michael Emerson as Cayden James?
Awesome.
Yep, he was good.
You know, so like anything Emerson goes for is so like he's awesome whatever he does. You know, I don't think he's ever put a foot wrong for me in terms of the various roles he's played. He's just a brilliant actor.
I agree. He was really good. I think great choice for Cayden James. Certainly somewhat similar to his Finch role from Person of Interest. Kind of, I guess, maybe a more evil version of that. But another very, very... he was great. What do we think of Cayden James in general? Particularly, like, it seems like maybe he might be the main bad guy, or at least one of them this season. I think he's cool because I like, again, how he's a super smart character, and like he's even smarter than, like, he looks like he's even possibly smarter than Felicity, you know, and that's not easy to do. And I like it when there's a really big challenge to that, and the villains are smart and not idiots.
Well, that's why Felicity needs Curtis working with her, and I got a feeling they might bring that other woman back in that was farming with Helix.
And what do you think, Marx? Of Cayden James, the character and stuff.
He's very capable. I think what we might see is him be the main villain for the first half of the season. You know, they've been doing that lately, where they switch it up halfway through to another villain. I think maybe that's what we'll see. We'll see, because we know one of the villains coming up, right? So.
Oh yeah, Richard Dragon. I forgot about him.
Yeah, we know Richard Dragon's coming up, and I suppose he could work for Cayden, but I don't know. They've been doing that a lot lately, where they shift halfway through. I can see them doing that.
I kind of... What do you guys think about that? I think kind of prefer one villain the whole season, but what do you guys think? Or don't you really have a preference? I mean, it can work either way, but...
It depends. I mean, the good thing about someone like Cayden James is they can, you know, he can outsource to other villains.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he can get other villains to do his dirty work, much like the Thinker is in the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's sort of character that would outsource, and he's also sort of character that's very, very, very obviously as given away in his final scene, playing the long game. As in, you know, he wasn't too concerned about the fact that Felicity sort of like managed to save the computers, given that, you know, he'd gotten through the firewall and that's all he wanted to do.
Let me share some chat comments. Eagle Scout says, thought it was a little underplayed. I think he was referring to Cayden James when we were talking about that. Carrie Johnson says, Cayden James was awesome. I love a proper villain. Team Arrow is in trouble. I agree. It seems like he's going to be a really good opponent for them to try to thwart. Lister's Mate says, I couldn't understand Arrow at all this week, so is Ollie and Felicity on again? And Eagle Scout didn't like how the episode revolved around Felicity. Yes, Felicity is absolutely full on again. I think so, right? I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, they're having sex, everything. And
you said full on. Uh-huh. No, anyway.
What? I missed that. I don't even know.
Yeah, they're back together. So.
Obviously, reversal. The title of the episode was in terms of Ollie taking over as Overwatch, while Felicity was in the field. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You know, I wasn't too sure about that. It seemed a bit strange seeing Ollie in that seat.
I kind of liked it though. It was because we never seen him do that before. It was kind of fun.
It was.
In the chat. So, Eagle Scout says, yes, they're on again. Olicity, hate it when... Okay, he doesn't like Olicity. He wants Oliver and Black Canary to get together. Cool. And then Victor says, a villain that is well acted and written can make a show great. That is definitely true. for sure.
I've got a bit of a theory that's been percolating in my head over the last sort of like week since seeing Diggle get that drug through his arm. And I've got a feeling that whoever the main villain's going to be is probably the same person that's providing
the drugs,
Diggle with that drug, but sort of indirectly through a third party.
That's interesting. I think it's just a totally separate thing, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting idea, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to take your supply away so your arm wobbles.
As I mentioned last week, I was very surprised that I was actually kind of behind Olicity. And you know what? And I'm still always okay with it this episode. Like even though they had conflicts, obviously when Oliver was following them and then could beat up the guys, and she was pissed at him because she kind of thought he ruined things. It wasn't, I don't know, it was done in a way where like it felt real to me, and then they worked it out, you know? It didn't just become this like, oh, we're all pissed at each other and this is a terrible relationship. Like it seemed like like an adult relationship still, you know? Like, so I'm okay the way they're doing it right now. Like, this is the way I think this can work okay with Olicity.
Yeah, and it felt like she had a legitimate cause for complaint there, because, you know, he'd come in and beat everyone up before she'd been able to sort of had the chance to sort of like consolidate whatever deal she was trying to make to get the information she needed. So he did kind of mess things up for her.
Yeah, but that's partly because she was trying to do it all on her own.
Yeah, I mean,
she wasn't on her own, though. She was with that other woman.
Yeah. But what he means is they didn't have... She should have told the team, right? She should have had some backup there. Somebody who can actually fight.
Yeah, she needs some backup, which she ended up getting at the end. So they always get in trouble whenever they run off on their own and do their own little things.
I know. They never learn.
No.
In the chat, Carrie says, does anyone think the Helix girl, meaning Alina, will wind up being a Cayden James operative? Well, in this show, she seemed very much not to want anything to do with Cayden James. That's the whole reason she came to Felicity, right, for her help to stop him. But I guess you think
might be a double agent.
Yes, but he wanted to set this up so Felicity would break through that firewall.
Do you think? So you think she might really secretly been working for him?
It's actually, I didn't think about it until now, but yeah, it would be possible. Yeah.
Good point, Carrie. That was a good question.
And also the fact that she got injured by the bad guys, you know, but she conveniently didn't die. That kind of had some legitimacy to it.
Well, in the chaos of it, she might have got injured more than she was supposed to have gotten injured. You know, they could have. Who knows? Things went chaotic.
Yeah, collateral damage.
Listeners made in the chat says the reason he was asking about Felicity, it seemed like Oliver was going back to her because he had to go back to her for his son's sake and other reasons as well. I don't think so. I actually think they've been wanting to get back together even before the season started, and it's been more about the right time to tell William. So I think he really wants to be back with her. I don't think it has anything to do with the son. I think the son, if anything, has been keeping them apart because she didn't know if it was the right time to introduce her to him.
Yeah, they're kind of hinting towards it in the last two episodes of the previous season as well. You know, that episode where they got trapped.
Oh yeah,
they could retire, become a nice little family, travel off, and Diggle beat Arrow, and they could continue their ventures.
Yeah, but they tried that season 4 or whatever when they went off on their own, Felicity and Arrow to have a family, and they got pulled back in, or just to be there.
Season 3, I think.
Was it 3? I don't know. It was one of them. Was it the Ra's al Ghul season? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. All right. I mean, and I guess what else overall? I mean, I actually thought this was a really cool episode. Thought it was another strong one for Arrow. I mean, I thought the whole thing it was nice to get introduced to Cayden James. The whole thing with, the whole plot with Felicity working with Alina and bringing Helix back in. So it felt like there was the whole setup last year with Helix paid off, and the whole thing with James. That was nicely done.
And no flashbacks.
Yeah, no, that's done, which is good.
Thank God. And no flashbacks to the island when it was destroyed either. We only had it in the first episode, so.
Yeah, it's been strong. I think so far this is stronger than season 3 and 4. in fact.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the flashbacks last year really slowed it down. I know it had your favourite villain in Marx, Anatoly, but the whole Bratva thing just really slowed it down last year.
Yeah, well, it's because after season 2, all the flashback stories were like something that could fit in half an episode of something. There wasn't that much story to any of it. It just stretched out.
Yeah, I agree. Arrow feels like it's kind of back to the first couple seasons. I think they're back on gear and really doing a great job. I also the whole thing with the I guess we're like the internet, like that whole, I don't know.
Is that legit?
I don't know how accurate that is, but it was very intriguing to me. Like, is that really true the way it works? Because that actually was kind of cool. Those 3 people, and they're anonymous. I mean, I do find it, of course, even if it does exist, of course, like it happens to be in Star City, right, or really close by. And the whole world, that's where it happens to be.
That's where I had a bit of a problem with it, because that room that they were in when they went after him was supposed to be the entire internet, right?
More or less,
I guess.
Yeah.
Then that doesn't make sense. I mean, why would you have the entire World Wide Web in one room?
I'm pretty sure you don't, because that's part of the strength of the internet's redundancy.
There's no logic to having the entire internet in one room.
That is true. You're right.
It's just a security risk.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's legit. I don't know. I didn't get time to look it up.
But it's a cool concept, though, I think, for the story.
It is, yeah.
In the chat, Carrie says, who suggested that Felicity use the name Helix for her company? It was Alina. If it was Alina, yes, it was actually. Well, no. Well, Felicity says, I was thinking of using your name. So I guess Felicity came up with the idea to use Helix. But anyway, he says that could be even more part of Cayden's plan to frame Felicity.
Yeah, you're right there. Felicity came up with it, and she actually asked Alina, and Alina says, "Yeah, be nice to see the name use some good sort of thing."
And then I think Alina comes up with the second part, Helix Dynamics, I think is what it was called, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Helix something.
Her original idea was just that Felicity needs to go back to the device that made her walk and develop that.
Actually, I want to bring that up. The whole spine fix thing, right? I think one of you guys or somebody else in our chat last week had mentioned that about, or maybe it was Francis or somebody, about like that could be the thing that they do for their company, the whole spine thing, right? And it looks like that is what they're doing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And as a storyline, as a plot point, they could use it to help Diggle with his hand.
Possibly. Nerves,
Possibly.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, though, for the spine thing? I was almost positive Curtis is the one who came up with that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was. It was when, but he was working for the Atom at the time, because Curtis came into it via the via the Atom's company. I keep forgetting the name of the guy.
Palmer Tech.
Palmer Tech. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's gonna hijack his stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Well, they're working together, so it's fine. But it's kind of like Alina was giving Felicity credit. Like it was really Curtis, all Curtis, who did that.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, together maybe they can do something. They can make it affordable. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they could do one of these back things, and it has all the gadgetry that the current Flash suit has, and kind of like turns into a lifeboat. Stuff like that.
Well, that would protect you, I guess, yes, if you fell down from your spine going out or something. In the chat, so people are talking about the internet in one room thing. Victor says, designing the internet being in one room, it'll be easier to feed and water the whole thing at once. Okay. And then Lister's mate says, yeah, the entire World Wide Web in one room didn't make sense. There are millions of servers on millions of computers and devices all over the world.
Yep.
Well, there you go. I don't know. We'll have to get an internet expert as a guest or something. We'll have to find one of those people who are secretly control the internet.
I mean, that's one of the strengths of it. Like, you could have a nuclear war, and in theory, the internet would still work.
Yeah, maybe you should do a spin-off show, the DC Action Hour, where you have a real scientist coming on to sort of like say, well, this is possible, but this is not possible, sort of thing. You know, sort of like a DC Action Hour science program.
That would be interesting, actually. Yeah,
I'm sure they'll love Legends. They'll be like, everything is totally inaccurate. No,
totally
this would happen. Yeah. All right. So what? And I already knew this was happening because I was looking at the IMDb listings for episodes. But I am super excited that next week we get Oliver and Slade teaming up to help rescue Slade's son. It looks like it's gonna be 2 episodes, actually, according to the listings for Manu Bennett on the show. I'm super hyped for that. Are you guys excited?
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been watching Manu Bennett in a few things, and I've been rewatching Spartacus. But I also watched the Shannara Chronicles, and he's really good in that.
He's always great. He's so good. And it'll be nice to actually see Oliver, because since he's not on the team anymore, it'll be nice also to have him opportunity to go kick some butt and stuff as well. Out with Slade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're going after Slade's son, aren't they? And I think I've heard on the grapevine that Slade's son is actually worse than he was when he was under the influence of the Mirakuru.
Really?
Oh, really?
Interesting. By the way, I missed earlier in the chat. I forgot to say this. Eagle Scott had said he wants William to become Speedy. That'd be interesting. I really just want Thea to come back as Speedy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't. What would anybody pick that name? I mean, this guy's name. I would not want to be called Speedy.
Well, it only makes sense if you're on the Flash. If you're a speedster,
Yeah, you would think so.
And the way they explained it on the show early on is that was his nickname for Thea growing up. I don't know why though. They never established why that was her nickname.
She did drugs all the time.
Wait, that fits actually. She did do drugs early on, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's why when she was a kid he was calling her that.
Probably not. No.
That's terrible.
Well, she might have been snorting speed directly from the womb,
Yep. Oliver's mom's big druggie. It's a dark secret.
I do miss Mora Queen, actually. She was good.
I do too. That's interesting that he's now back to being friends with Slade, the man who murdered his mom. So it's got to be kind of hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, I think
he killed
they need to
Slade's
bring
love.
that up.
He killed Slade's love.
He didn't kill her. You know that.
Oh, well, I know. But that's what Slade blamed him for at the time.
Well, yeah.
Well, actually, no, right? It was I don't remember his name. It was Kooky Scientist dude, right? Said, I'm going to shoot one of them, and then he could only save one, right?
Yeah.
And he saved Sarah over what the fuck's her name? God damn it. Something with an S-H.
Shadow.
Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, and then he didn't even actually do that. He kind of just hesitated, and then she got shot or something. I remember.
Yeah, no, I know it wasn't his fault, but
a little different than just cold blood murder when you're kneeling down.
But not to Slade's point of view when he was on Mirakuru.
Oh, I know.
Who killed Shadow?
Yeah.
I can't do Slade's voice. It's just really.
Carrie in the chat says, I love Slade is returning, but what the hell did Ollie have his phone on and answer when Felicity were about to have dessert at the end? Hey, listen, when you're the mayor of Star City, you can't ever turn your phone off, man. There's always an emergency and crazy people trying to blow up the city.
Yeah, right.
Just like Felicity, well, she also didn't have her phone off. She got a lot of calls too, because with the team. It's very hard for them to have sex, is what we're getting at, I guess, with all these calls coming in.
Well, there is actually an app on your phone that's Do Not Disturb. You can just put that on. It stops people from getting through to you.
Well, couldn't you also just turn the phone off?
Well, yeah.
In the chat, Victor...
It's just that I use that thing at work all the time. If I'm at work, I put Do Not Disturb on the phone because I'm always doing sort of like group things, sort of thing. Group talks.
I got you.
Orgies, yeah.
What was that? Wish. What did you say?
I said nothing. What are you talking about?
All right.
This is a family show.
Yeah. In the chat, Victor says, I want to be Speedy. And then Lister's Mate says, maybe that's how she went through her boyfriend. She was Speedy with them. Maybe.
Oh wow.
Maybe when she was younger. But again, I think I think she was very young when she got the name.
15 seconds.
Yes.
We're really ruining her childhood. We're making it really bad.
Eagle, yeah, I love Thea, man. Eagle Scout says in the comics it was because he could draw really fast. Oh, really? Is that how he got the name? I didn't know that. It's interesting.
I'm assuming draw, bow, and arrow. Or is it draw?
Oh, I'm thinking draw. Tell us, Eagle Scout. I thought it was like draw with like you're drawing comics.
I don't know. Let us know which one it is. I'm curious.
That would make more sense, I guess, if he was quick on the draw with the bow and arrow. All right.
Yeah. Maybe she rode on she was
a bicycle
roller
messenger?
skates or something. Maybe that's why.
Maybe
We
she
never
was just
saw
maybe she was just extraordinarily quick-witted for her age.
Oh, well, that's nice. I like that. That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Or she was a pizza delivery driver. She was very speedy with her deliveries.
Speedy with the comebacks. That fits her character. Yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe we should just stop coming up with these stupid ideas and just accept
I think
that her
so.
name's
Let's move on.
All right, so that Eagle Scout says now an arrow. So I guess that means yes, drawing on the arrow. I guess is what he meant by that.
Okay, cool.
There you go. That makes sense. All right, so that I think that pretty much wraps it up for Arrow. Unless you guys want to mention anything else about the episode.
Nah.
Yep.
All right.
I guess we got a mention of Arclight, right? Is that what he said he's working on? Cayden? Does it call Arclight?
Yeah. What is Arc? What is that? Is that something we should know?
I don't know. I looked it up. There's a supervillain called Arclight. But that's the only reference I could find, if I heard it correctly.
Yeah, because he actually wanted Felicity to do whatever she did, right? To like stop the. She did something to the internet to do something that would help him, actually, right?
Yeah, she wanted him to take down. He wanted her to take down the firewall for him to get access to something.
Oh, right. So it could be traced back to her and not him.
Yeah, and the Arclight character, if I heard it correctly, in DC Comics is a villain from Superman who's been turned into energy by LexCorp, and he can do like nuclear blasts and stuff and thermal protection.
Nice.
So.
In the chat, Carrie says, off topic, but it's nice to see Katie Cassidy get good/cool stuff to do. Yes, actually, we didn't bring up Black Siren yet. I thought this was another cool episode for Black Siren. I'm digging her in that role.
I actually commented in my review that I thought it was a great episode for her. Review I wrote on Sci-Fi Post.net. I sort of mentioned that it's really cool to see Katie Cassidy as Black Siren. That she's more interesting to watch and fun to watch as Black Siren than she ever was as Black Canary sort of thing. So
yeah, she's played a decent bad guy in Supernatural when she first started acting, and she plays even better in this. This is a better role for her, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they finally found the right way to use her in the show.
Yeah,
which is nice. Listeners mate in the chat also says it was really good to see Katie Cassidy, and I think that her working for Cayden James, I think that works out because then we can get to see more of both of them this season.
I think she looks way better with darker hair, because you've seen that bit at the beginning where she's seducing that guy before she kills him, and she's got the dark hair. I think she looks way better with dark hair than she does with blonde.
Yeah, not too bad.
But hang on, I'm trying to think. Does she has dark hair normally now, right? As Black Siren, or no? Or does she have blonde hair still? She still has blonde hair.
Still kind of blondish.
Oh, I guess I'm still thinking of the wig. Okay, but it's not as blonde. Is it as blonde as it used to be? Well, I guess a lot of times Black Canary would wear a more blonde wig, actually. Right? Like from the comics, actually, Black Canary is, I think, a brunette, sometimes, and she just wears a blonde. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. I forget.
Maybe the first Black Canary.
I know, Sarah in the show. Sarah actually, she did wear, even though her hair is that, she did wear a more blonde wig.
I think so.
Yeah, she definitely did. I remember. Right. Yeah. It's part of
we
her
need
disguise.
We need to get some hair specialist on here. Tell us.
Right.
Hair and makeup specialist.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna cast my hairdressers to come on that show.
Okay.
I'd be completely grey without her help.
Jelly Duck 100 says, "Hey everyone, hello Jelly Duck. I love your name, so welcome to the chat."
That's a cool name.
Listeners May says he prefers Katie Cassidy's Black Siren. The current one, he meaning Dinah Drake, he means, I think, just stands around all the time looking pissed at everyone. And Eagle Scout says, yeah, Dinah is just mean. I like Laurel better. Interesting.
They like the villain better than the hero.
Well, that's not... A lot of times people like the villain better, though. You know?
Yeah.
I prefer Dinah Drake as the Black Canary, though.
I do too, but I see what they're saying. They haven't done a lot with her this season. She's been just kind of like... She's been hitting the same note over and over again with her character this season.
Well, they featured her more, but you're right. They've done a different thing with her, which is to just have her be pissed at Diggle, basically, most of the time. However, in this episode...
she looks dead sexy when she's pissed, you know what I mean? She's got that sort of like pouty, I'm pissed sort of look.
All right. We know how Ian likes his women.
It's kind of hot.
I do think this episode, though, they got back to where they should be with her, where I would like them to be, I guess. I didn't feel she was really pissed this episode. She was just more like her normal Canary self.
She didn't really do a whole lot. You know, they're gonna have to do something with her. She's a cool character, but they're gonna have to give her some kind of character arc.
Yeah, because I loved her last year, and I think she's really good as Black Canary. Jeez, I keep mixing them up now.
I don't know, for the strangest reason, I keep thinking that she's gonna get together with Diggle, and Diggle's marriage is going to break up. I don't know why.
Cammy thinks that too, actually. She's who's been our guest in our show from Arrow Squad. No, I absolutely do not want that to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Hope not.
I don't know. I don't want it to happen. I just can't feel it could be very
They do have a bit more chemistry than she does with Oliver. She almost shares very few scenes with Oliver. They barely talk to each other.
Yeah, that's true. In the chat, Carrie says, by the way...
Maybe they slept together.
What? Who slept together?
Maybe the new Canary and Oliver slept together, and it's all about the tension.
Yeah, we're going to get a flashback about it.
They're not talking to each other.
Listeners May in the chat says, hey, if your character is going to be pissed, that's fine, but do something more with her. Agreed. Carrie says, by the way, did you notice that Siren introduced herself as Dinah when she Black Widowed that first guy? I did notice that. Actually, you know what? It was funny. After it happened, I was like, I think she just said she was Dinah. And then I was actually thinking, did I actually hear that right? So thank you, Carrie, for confirming that. Yeah, so
I think that's her middle name, right?
No, that's her first name. She went. Okay. Her middle name is Laurel. She went by her, because that's actually in the comics. She goes by Dinah. Is actually what she goes by. Is Dinah Lance.
Yeah, I couldn't remember how they did that. Yeah,
but I'm thinking has this version of this Black Siren, hasn't she gone by Laurel before? I think she has, right, as well. I can't remember if she's always used Dinah or Laurel, or if she was just using Dinah because I don't know, so they didn't know who she was or something.
She's Dinah Drake, isn't she? The new.
Oh no, we're sorry. Siren? She's talking about Black Siren, who is Dinah Laurel Lance, is her full name.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think when she was Canary, she went by Laurel Lance.
But you know, if they're going to if they do any flashbacks, I would like to see a flashback of Black Siren to figure out a little bit more about her backstory. I'd be curious to see that. And it'd be kind of cool to see it.
Oh yeah, from Earth 2. Yeah. That'd be cool. I agree.
Yeah.
Also, Eagle Scout says he wished they would bring back Ragman. It is a little weird. It does feel like Ragman, the way they kind of just got rid of him halfway through the season. Like, I'm not sure why he was ever there in the first place now.
They threw him away like a dirty rag.
All right.
Yeah. Great. They got fed up with him ragging on Wild Dog.
And then, by the way, also, I think maybe it was Curtis. Somebody actually said Black Widow, by the way. They said, like, he went all Black Widow. She went all Black Widow on him in the show. Did you guys catch that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I liked how Black Siren was like, there's something different about you, and she went up against Arrow / Diggle.
Oh yeah, but that's actually the one negative thing I have. Because, well, do you think she was being sarcastic? I actually think it came across as she didn't really know exactly what was different. Dude, he's a different race.
No, she's been sarcastic.
You think so? All right.
That character's sarcastic.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, though.
She's been sarcastic. Because if you remember when she spotted the crossbow, and she goes, crossbow, that's cute.
I don't know. I think that could have played out a little more sarcastically.
Almost everything she says has got kind of a sarcastic edge to it.
I guess so. Because I was like, how could she not know? She should know, realize it. She's gone up against.
Oh yeah, because she knows.
She knows who they are.
She knows Oliver.
You're
so,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good then. Carrie says, by the way, did Artemis survive the island? I'm going to assume absolutely not, since they haven't mentioned her at all, I guess maybe they're doing one of their cool, silly things where they're like, well, maybe if we want to bring her back ever, we'll just not say anything about it.
Actually, I got a question. Did the Ghul sisters survive the island?
I think they did.
Yeah, I think they definitely did. You know what? That's what they're totally not addressing any of that because they want to leave their options open to bring those characters back. But they also want to say if we can't get those actors back because they're on other shows, well, we'll say they got killed on the island.
Or if they bring them back with different characters, they say they got completely disfigured by the island, that they have to have radical surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see one of them potentially saving Artemis too if they wanted to bring her back. So, which they should. She's a good actress. I've seen her in some stuff. I can't remember what, but she was good in whatever I saw before, and they did like nothing with her character. Like that was such a weird way they handled her character.
Listener's Mate says, I thought they did a backstory of Black Siren, but I think it was on The Flash where they first introduced the different versions of Earth. I'm almost positive you're right. When it was Vibe and Black Siren, I think they did, and not Savage, Zoom. I think they did get a little bit into how she came to be. A little bit.
A little bit. There's a lot we don't know. Yeah. And that would be a good flashback story. That would be a good one. They do it right.
It would. Jelly Duck. Okay, so Jelly Duck, like you, Marx, wants to bring a little Marvel into this, which is cool. He says, what do you think about the Black Panther movie trailer? Was there a new one? The only one I saw was the one like out in Comic-Con time over the summer. Do you guys know? Has there been a new one out? Yeah, that one was cool. I don't know if there's been a new one out.
I'm not sure if there's a new one or not.
It's coming out in February, though, so it could be. It's not too far away.
I tend to try and avoid movie trailers.
Because they give too much away?
Yeah. So I tend not to watch movie trailers.
That's a good move.
They do spoil a lot.
I mean, I run them every now and again on the website, but I don't actually watch them. I just watch them long enough to get the embed code.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Victor in the chat says, this is sounding to start sounding like plots from 1980 soaps. I guess all the characters we were talking about and the different versions of
the plastic surgery, probably.
Yeah. All right, let's do some ratings for this week's episode of Arrow Reversal. We do this on a 4-star rating scale, but we do boxing glove arrows for the show. So, Ian, what are you going to give this? How many boxing glove arrows?
I'm going to go with 3.75, I think.
All right. Marx.
I forget. It's out of 4, right?
Out of 4.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was out of 5. Yeah, pretty much the same, I think, 3.75. It's pretty good. It's been a lot of strong episodes this season.
I'm going to go with 3.5 boxing glove arrows. I'm with you guys. Yep, another strong episode. Arrows really firing on all cylinders. All right, So there we go. That was Arrow. We got all the other shows to talk about, so we're going to go over to The Flash.
Da, da, da.
All right, so is that the new Flash theme song?
That's so this was episode 4 of season 4. The episode was named Elongated Journey into Night.
What was that called again?
Elongated Journey into Night.
Journey
Elongated,
into night.
Yeah.
I was thinking we were going to say elonginated or something, but I think it's elongated. Okay.
Yeah.
Written by Sterling Gates, who has written other Flash episodes. He also wrote Mr. and Miss Mixie Plex, whatever heck you pronounce it, for Supergirl, that episode. And also Thomas Pound, who's actually that person's first episode writing for Flash. And it was directed by one of our favorite actors on the show, Tom Cavanaugh. So it's nice to see him directing again. Tom Cavanaugh directing. And the episode was while searching for the new metahumans created by the incident with the bus in episode 1 of this season. Barry comes across his old nemesis, Ralph Dibny, a detective that sometimes stretches the truth. Get it? Meanwhile, Gypsy's dad, Breacher, played by Danny Trejo. Yes. Visits and immediately dislikes Cisco, decides to hunt him. So let's start with the elongated man. What do you guys think?
Elongated man.
Elongated man.
I just wish I had the powers of Plastic Man sometimes, but you know, I didn't like the Plastic Man angle because I hate Plastic Man. He's not a favourite DC character of mine at all. It's like my least favourite character. And they brought him into the Flash.
This isn't Plastic Man.
No, Plastic. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: Elongated Man is a real separate character in the DC universe from Plastic Man. You might ask, why do they have two stretchy guys? I don't know, but they have a lot of different people who are like the same. So, Plastic Man is a really silly character. You're right, Ian. Elongated Man is usually like a more serious take on that, from what I know. The only time I've really read Elongated Man was back maybe about 10 years ago or so. There was a series DC did called Identity Crisis. And
yeah, it's a real dark take on him, but yeah.
He was the lead in that, and I think it was really good. He was like really cool in that. Like he really did his detective skills, like, and stuff, and they really made him cool. See, so that's interesting, Mark. That's my thinking of him. I thought he was a serious character. So is he usually a little bit more goofy, like they did in the Flash here? Do you know?
He's a little more goofy. He's a little more like Booster Go, Blue Beetle type Justice League member.
Okay.
I mean, that Identity Crisis, one of the big things they did there was try to take characters that are sort of more lighthearted, like Dr. Light, and suddenly twist it all around and make it a lot darker. So with the whole murder mystery thing going on, and the whole, yeah. And
that was a good series, though, man. I really liked that.
It was good. It was dark. But
I personally think this episode would have been a hell lot better if it had just been entirely Danny Trejo hunting Cisco.
It might be a little much. It's nice to see him on the show, but he's a little over the top.
By the way, Lister's Mate says, I love Plastic Man. I burst out laughing when Barry suggested that Elongated Man should call himself that. He also liked that Gypsy's dad's name was Josh. That was funny.
Yeah. And what was Gypsy's name now?
Cynthia.
What's her name? Cynthia and Josh.
Victor says, I treat my stepdaughter's boyfriends the same way. So far, 2 are still in hiding about 5 years. Oh, so he hunts them just like Danny Trejo does, apparently. So, Elongated Man, sorry, we were talking about what do we think of him. So, Ralph Dibny. So, again, I wasn't used to that take on him, but I think it worked. I think it was interesting to see Barry be, like, so negative on someone and so, like, quick to judge, like, nope, forget it, he's bad, lock him up, Yeah. So Ralph's an interesting character.
Yeah, I think I like to see some more of him. I think I like him in the comic books because he's a detective. That's his big thing. He does that nose wiggle thing they did. That's a comic book thing he does.
That's funny. Yeah. That was quite fun. I think we're going to see more of him anyway. I think he's kind of like a new regular, isn't he?
Is he? I don't know.
Well, he's going to be a next episode. I don't know if he's a regular, but he's going to be a next episode. I saw him on the.
Yeah, he'll appear a few times, and he'll be on Legends next season.
You know what? He actually would fit in totally with Legends. That's a character that would fit.
He would be a good addition.
I'm actually okay with that because I'm not that attached to him, so they can mess him up. I don't care.
He could be good mates with Mick Rory. I can see him, Mick Rory, becoming a new partners in crime.
Yeah. They don't have a detective on the team. That could be good. The more I think about it, the more I think it needs to happen.
And with stretchy arms, you can steal stuff real easily.
Yeah. He's an interesting character. I think it's going to be fun to have him on there. So,
Lister's Mate, I was just thinking of this. Lister's Mate. He says, I also burst out laughing when Joe vomited when Ralph sneezed. His face fell off. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Carrie says, didn't Elongated Man look like Arseface from Preacher when Barry punched him? I actually don't know who that character is from Preacher.
Oh, God, yeah.
Does his face look like an ass or something?
Yeah.
His face does look like an ass. So he's basically got, a dead small mouth, and it's sort of like it looks like an arsehole.
Oh, God, nice. By the way, if you're joining us late, folks, once again, please wish Lister's Mate a happy birthday. It's his birthday today in the chat, and he's been one of our most awesome fans. So happy birthday, Anthony.
Yeah, I like the "is that my face" moment, and the whole discussion with the mayor about I'm not going to blackmail you, and he's like, "Aren't you blackmailing me? Not to blackmail." That was kind of funny.
I thought the effect when he was shot was quite cool. When he was shot in the face and he just sort of like spat the bullets back out.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool effect.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with that character effect wise, and hope they keep him around off and on. I wouldn't want him all the time necessarily, unless it's on Legends,
right.
But he'll be good for an occasional mystery. I smell a mystery. And then he can meet his wife and marry her, and then she'll get brutally murdered, and they'll have an identity crisis.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah. What did you guys think about? So we mentioned Breacher a little bit. What did you guys think about that whole B storyline with Gypsy and Cisco and Breacher?
It was kind of look. I'm never against seeing Danny Trejo in anything. It's always great to see him. So that was cool to see him. It was a little goofy. There were some fun moments though with it still. I don't know. I feel in general Flash is off to a very goofy, odd start this season.
It is. I found this to be a better balance in general than last episode.
Oh, well, last was crazy. Yeah.
Everybody was just acting goofy, and this one it's like there was goofiness coming from Ralph, there was goofiness coming from Breacher, and a little bit of Cisco, which Cisco's always like that anyway. And I thought that worked a little bit better without filling out a character for people.
I still think it's too much.
What it's about is,
Go ahead, Reed.
I mean, Wells, tells Cisco to stand up for himself, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was actually quite good.
Yeah, we needed the trap. That was well done, and yeah. I mean, Breacher himself, he was way over top at points, and
yeah.
But also, they showed like whenever he was with his daughter and just acting normal, he was, I think, showing that some of that was an act just to scare him and stuff. So,
yeah,
because he acted very different whenever he was just talking to his daughter alone.
Yeah, well, that makes sense though, because he actually, he loves his daughter.
Yeah. So I thought that was, I like Gypsy a lot, so it's cool to have Gypsy on there, and of course like Cisco. So
yeah, absolutely,
it's good B storyline overall.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel overall they're out of whack. They're still trying to compensate for last season and going too goofy. Like this should have humor in the show, but I don't know. I still feel like they haven't found their right balance yet. Probably
not, but we'll probably get darker as we get closer to finding out the Thinker's plot and stuff. Things get really dark.
Talking about the Thinker, we didn't actually see him in this episode, but we did get an interesting tease when Dibney revealed that it was a DeVoe.
Oh, that was my favorite part of the episode. Actually,
to investigate the Ma.
I love that part because then you're right. Then Barry thought back to what's the guy's name? The card guy or the magic dude? Abracadabra, right?
Abracadabra.
When he was listing all the names off, and DeVoe was one of them. Like that felt like the normal Flash to me, where it's like, oh, he's making the connections. Oh, now I know this is the big bad. Like that felt good to me. Like we were moving the right direction for the story.
And there was also the sequence within that where where in the flashback or flash forward or whatever, where they mentioned the device that they came up with to defeat DeVoe.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. That's right. They did. Nice.
I forgot what was the device. I can't remember what it was.
Some sort of like thought, telepathic blocker or something. I don't know. I mean, can't remember exactly what it was called, but the fact of the matter that he knows what it is kind of going to make the season kind of short. I'm just wondering if there's going to be another surprise villain halfway through.
No, I think we're gonna have Thinker straight through.
Mm-hmm.
I think because we got like 12 of those metahumans to find and figure out what their role is and everything. We got a lot of stuff to figure out.
Well, we got Ralph was one of them, though, right? Yeah, Ralph's counts as 3. So now
they're not all like inherently evil or anything.
Right.
They're just people got powers. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Thinker's gonna.
The thing is, the Thinker's after 12, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably wants to use Ralph, I guess.
Assuming there's 12 people on the bus, would people that were in close proximity of the bus at the time have been affected?
I don't think they're gonna. They're assuming no. So that could be a twist. Could want to add another character or something, but
in the chat, Carrie says, "Isn't next week the bachelor party / and it's also bachelorette party episode? Expect more shenanigans." That's another thing. I'm also thinking the next week. I'm like, oh, gonna be more goofy shenanigans. Like Barry from is drunk, which I'm interested to see how they're gonna explain that, because they've always established how alcohol he burns through it. He can't get drunk.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that happened. I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway, who do we get? Felicity, right? He's going to be in next week's then, right? Because she comes for the bachelorette party.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it when they do those little crossovers like that.
Listeners May says, DeVoe is a weird last name. It makes me think of the rapper Belle Biv DeVoe, the rap group. Okay.
Maybe he used to be a rapper. No, he's very smart.
I actually think DeVoe's kind of a cool name. I like that name for the villain.
Yeah, his first name, Clifford.
Victor says, maybe we are overthinking about the Thinker.
He doesn't have any plan at all. That's his brilliance.
He just likes buses.
It is interesting that he apparently killed the bus driver, trying to keep their identity secret.
Oh, yeah. So the bus driver didn't... Why didn't he become a meta? I wonder.
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe he was, and they killed him for some reason. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's not really dead. Maybe he's Solomon Grundy. He's died in a bathtub instead of a swamp.
And he's born on a Monday.
What is I see in your notes you have here? What's plastoid, Marx? You have that in the notes, I see.
Oh, I was gonna look it up and see, because Reacher thinks that Ralph is a plastoid.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which they're apparently not in DC comic books. I couldn't find any reference to him.
Well, on his Earth, it must be a race of like plastic type people, right? Who can stretch and stuff.
Must be. Which reminds me, isn't there a villain race like that in Doctor Who? Maybe.
Ian, you're a Doctor Who fan.
What, villains that can stretch
or change their shape or something?
Plastic. Plasticky villains. Yeah.
There's some villains that are changelings.
Okay.
That can change shape, shapeshifters, but nothing as far as I can remember that's like an elongated man, if that's what you're thinking.
Really?
Nah. Unless you're thinking those stupid farty creatures that were in the first season.
Farty creatures? Is that what you said?
I think I'm thinking of the Autons.
The Autons, they were sort of like they were just kind of the nest-eating consciousness, and they could actually telepathically control plastic, which is how they were able to sort of like turn mannequins against the entirety of humanity. So anything that was made out of plastic, they could control.
Isn't that the first episode of season 9? I remember seeing that one.
It was the very first episode of season 1 of Doctor Who.
The new
season series.
But that's season 9 overall, is what I mean. The new series. The Christopher Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston was series 1. If you
hang on, but it's. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. I mean, it's the 9th Doctor. That's what I meant with 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the 9th Doctor because I think Doctor Who'd been going sort of like about 25 years before. Well longer.
Yeah. 50 years actually. I think it's the anniversary a couple years ago.
I think we're probably on about. I think we're probably on about. If we count the seasons overall, it's probably something like about season 40 or something now.
Okay.
Now, if you do it like that, but.
All right. So let's see. Anything else, Marks, about the Flash to talk about?
I don't think so. We're good. I think it was cute, the ending montage with the music and the cigars and stuff.
Oh, you see, I don't know. I think, again, I thought that was just kind of goofy, though, a little. I do kind of like how he revealed it finally, though, that he was, in the helicopter, right? After he saved them, and he's like, she's just pregnant. He just blurted it out. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really big surprise I didn't see coming, so curious to see
I still think that's one of the worst storyline ideas ever, to have him have another kid. I don't get what they're going to do with that at all, or why they're doing that. Maybe it'll turn out to be something cool, but I don't get it.
I don't either, but it's unexpected.
Yeah,
that's for sure. The kid will probably get infected by something and grow super fast.
Yeah, right.
Time thing and become
so he could be closer to age to Wally and Barry and everybody and Iris.
Yeah. Who knows? So we want to rate it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How many lightning bolts? 1 out of 4. You first, Jeff, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna do 2.5 lightning bolts. Look, that's not bad, but I don't think it was good enough to get the 3. I still think they haven't found their good balance here, and they're a little all over the place. Though better than last week's.
What about you, Ian?
I think about the same, 2.5.
Well, I'm gonna give it a 3 because I liked Ralph, and I think there's a lot of potential there with that character if they do him right.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And it's so bizarre, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I'm looking forward to eventual invasion by plastoids. That better happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Night of the Living Plastoids. Come on, I want this episode.
It's really weird because Flash has been my favorite show the past few seasons. It's so weird to actually have the Flash be like my least favorite out of all of these 4 shows, at least this week. And I feel it's off to just about the roughest start. At least Supergirl and Arrow are definitely up to way better starts than Flash is, and that's so weird because it's been such the strongest one before.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird when we do Legends, because I thought Legends this week was actually better than Flash.
Well, thank you for that segue, sir, because we're going to talk about Legends right now.
Yeah, let's talk about Legends. So, episode 4 of season 3, called Phone Home, written by Matthew Mala. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Directed by Kevin Mock. The Legends travel back to 1988 to save a young Ray Palmer from dying. There they encounter a baby Dominator, an angry Mominator, a clandestine government agency, and some Halloween fun with plenty of nods to E.T.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do you guys think? Let's start with young Palmer Ray Palmer.
Young Palmer Ray. I love that young Palmer Ray. All right, here I'm gonna shock everybody who watches the show normally and say I love this episode of Legends. I do not like this show at all. I usually think it's really silly. This episode rocked, and you know what? I wish this is what they did every week. And this is what's going to drive me crazy because they're not going to keep doing this at all. They're going to go back to silliness, I'm sure. But I think having it centered on a younger version of the characters, Ray in this case, and it was good. In the 80s, Ian mentioned this on the pre-show, I grew up in the 80s, so that was awesome, right? Zari is the best thing about the show right now. Having her take a strong role was very smart, particularly since they just introduced her. That was smart, I think, to have her take a lead role in this episode as well. But also, it was just a good, heartfelt story, you cared about what was happening in the characters. I cared about that damn alien, the baby alien, more than any other character, pretty much.
Yeah, I like the actor that played young Ray Palmer. I think he's really cute and well acted his scenes. Kind of hope they show him again sometime. They have to save him again for some reason.
Right. I really went back to really liking Ray. I mean, we kind of talk how Ray's kind of become a goofball idiot, right, from Arrow. But I really like Ray a lot now when I saw the younger version of him.
Yeah.
I thought the Steel fancying Ray's mum was quite funny.
The scene where he thinks she's seducing him and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Well, and also
his terrible flirting was funny too at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I just think this is a great episode because it's sort of it's building on the fact that they broke time and there are consequences for breaking time, and and it's the first time we're seeing the consequences directly affect one of them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think it was a good way. It was a good way without doing flashbacks to get into the head of Ray Palmer and his past and what made him like he is now. So we appreciate him a little more.
Mm-hmm. Although his favourite film being Singing in the Rain, I mean, that's a bit sad.
Why is that sad? That's an amazing film. It's
an amazing film, but it's kind of like it doesn't see.
Nothing sad about that at all. I expected it to. Well, I expected him to be a geeky film based on what we know about him. But I can see what they did in this episode. I can see him digging that. I think. I like that the baby was also bopping along to it as well, and it paid off later with the baby making the agents dance. Like that was fun.
That was very fun. Yeah, there's a lot of funny moments in there. Gumball.
Gumball, right.
I think I would have used a less obvious musical, though. I would have used something like An American in Paris.
All right.
Yeah, but everybody knows that one.
Singing in the Rain is classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone knows Singing in the Rain. That's the trouble.
Well, didn't they get in the joke?
In the chat, helps. Carrie says, oh, Lister's mate is actually singing, putting the lyrics to Singing in the Rain. Very good. Carrie says, I like that Zari was able to show older Ray that it's okay to remain innocent and optimistic by how she treated young Ray, even as older Ray was losing his optimism. Yes, well said.
Yeah, it was good. Good moment.
This was a nice character thing for Zari, too, I think, right? Because she kind of started off being like, this is ridiculous, all this optimism stuff. But then she came to really care for young Ray.
Yeah, in some ways, she's like the voice of the audience, I think, in a way. Like, she hasn't been a part of all this, and she looks at it from outside in a way, and she's got a certain humanity or that we can relate to, and maybe the other ones don't as much. That makes sense. So
it does.
Right, I must apologise for our little visitor here. She's kind of intruded.
It's your baby Dominator.
It's all right. Yeah, or your totem coming to life.
But Ian, I think what you said, I mean, instead of like all this kind of epic world-saving stuff or all the silly stuff that they usually do with kooky things going on and no explanations that make no sense whatsoever, and then not caring about time. Like in this episode, it was very, I feel, more focused and about a smaller story, you know? And they also, they weren't doing these ridiculous things that were like violating all the time. They actually seemed like, for the most part, they were trying to be incognito and be respectful of it, you know? Which was nice. So yeah, I don't know, like, and man, that baby Dominator, that thing was so cute. They did a great job, like, I think, CG in that.
They did.
Yeah. It was also kind of like a little bit unclear because we weren't sure whether the Dominator kills Ray or whether it's the mysterious organization.
It was the agent.
It was the agent.
The agency, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that agent, I believe that's the guy, a young version of an agent we saw back during the whole Invasion crossover, right? Because I think those are the same glasses.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
You might be right. I was trying to place him.
Yeah, so it was a good nod to the continuity set up from that back then with the Dominators and the government agency that knows about the Dominators. So that was well done.
It was also nice to see we got the Mominator, right, as they called her. It was nice to see that having the Dominators actually looking badass and kicking ass, because in the Invasion crossover, I felt like they just got wiped out by the heroes way too easily, and they were just pathetic. This Mominator, this was like, she took out Sarah. She was really kick-ass, you know. That was good. They should be that way.
She turned into Ray Palmer's mom and seduced Steel and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was funny.
And I think it was cool to see that they care about their babies, obviously, and stuff. So see a little bit of a nicer side to a Dominator, because they are alien species. It's not like they're all. It's not really racist because they're not really real, I guess, but it is a little bit racist to go like a whole alien species. They're all evil and they're all like one-minded.
That's a good point. It's speciesist.
Speciest.
I thought the moment at the end where they get young Ray to hand to take the baby over to its mother, that was kind of sweet.
Very touching.
Yeah, it was really sort of like touching.
Yeah, because it was nice to see that these people who they thought were their enemy, that they can but they're just like us. They care about their kids just like we do, and you could see the team like both Nate and Sarah were like, "Oh, there's something in my eye. I'm not really crying." You can see how it was like affecting these two, particularly Sarah, who's a pretty tough character, you know. And that was nice. That was a very nice moment.
It was a well done episode. This whole season, so far, the season's been the best season so far for Legends. I think they've got a good balance between the comedy and the drama. I haven't seen episode 2 yet because it's not on video on demand for some reason, so I need to watch it on CWC. But overall, it's been good from everything I've seen so far, and hopefully we'll continue to do so.
In the chat, Carrie says, "By the way, our Baby Dominator is going to be in toy stores in time for Christmas." I hope so, man. I would love a Baby Dominator plush.
Right?
Yeah, they're going to do a pop vinyl of it, and the Funko are going to do one.
I wouldn't be surprised. That thing was adorable, man.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's also nice. It was nice to see that they assumed the Baby Dominator was going to be evil, right? But so it was really cool. It was a clever way to use the Singing in the Rain moment to show how the baby stopped the agents by being peaceful, actually.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a very funny moment. So
Lister's mate as Satch says, "I love that Roy said his favorite musical was Fiddler on the Roof."
Yeah.
Oh, we got the flying bicycles from E.T.
And that was well done, though. I mean, that could have been like a stupid ripoff, but I actually kind of really dug because that's obviously the iconic moment, right? And I think they did that. It was well done. It was fun.
They did a well nod to it, and they didn't mention it. So
I've got to confess a secret to you guys.
I've
only ever seen E.T. one time.
That's fine. I think I've only seen it all the way through once when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, and every time it's on TV, it's usually on every Christmas, I switch channel because it's kind of like the only movie that I've ever seen that's actually, I'm still traumatized by it to this day.
By E.T.?
So I broke down in the theater with E.T. Yeah.
Wait, what traumatized you about the agents trying to hunt him down?
No, it's sort of like when he was dying, when he was dying of that sickness, and they had him in the quarantine ward and everything. I was completely traumatized by that, and it's all like I was like a crying little wreck of a 10-year-old.
Oh.
I've never been able to revisit the film since.
Yeah, the darkest moment in that builds up to the climax and all that stuff. It was pretty dark for little kids. A lot of the 80s stuff was.
But it turns out, he's fine it turns out nice in the end.
Oh yeah, but still, if you're a little kid, I guess it'd be a little scary.
Oh sure, 80s movies are the best though, man. That's when they were doing
I've
sci-fi.
got PTSD over ET.
In the chat, Lister's mate says, "I do like that they showed Stein did anything he could to be there for the birth of his grandbaby. I just didn't like that he didn't trust everyone else that it was that important to him."
Okay, so I do have a problem with that scene. I've forgotten. That didn't make any sense logically.
Stop trying to eat my microphone, you ducket.
Didn't make any sense logically that he had to be there, like right then. He had to leave right then to get there to see the baby when they're like
in a time ship.
They're time travelers, yeah, and they're out of time. It doesn't make any sense.
It also doesn't make sense that they have to leave a note saying we'll be right back. They can just come back in time right before when they left.
Exactly, or right after, just
right
not run into each other. Yeah. I didn't quite get that. I mean, for a story perspective, it was fun to do that and stuff and complicate things and to have that moment with Stein. But it was like that just makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of a contrived storyline because they needed to show why Stein is leaving the show.
Well, that too, yeah. And they mentioned they're going to try to break up Firestorm, which we all suspected they would do something like that when we heard Stein was leaving the show, right. Or the actor playing Stein.
Yeah. When's he going to leave? Is there any idea?
I'm guessing he's at the most. Well, wait a minute. But this show only really runs a half of a season. Half of the year it runs, though it does more episodes than that. So I wonder. It sounds like he's probably going to leave before the season's over with, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd guess halfway.
Probably pretty soon.
That's going to be pretty soon. Then, if I'm assuming they're wrapping up. Well, see, I'm not even positive of this, but I'm almost positive they're wrapping up by January because that's when Black Lightning's supposed to start.
That soon? How many episodes do they get?
Well, normally the mid-season finales are near December, and then January usually kicks off. But you're right. There's actually a decent amount of Legends episodes, so maybe Black Lightning's starting later. Maybe it's not starting as soon as I think it is. I don't know.
I think Legends got the same amount of episodes as Flash last year, though, didn't it? And the other two, because
I think they're always a little bit shorter.
Yeah, they've always been a few shorter. They're usually like just under 20, I think, or something. 18, okay. 19. I want to say they may have 19 this year. Season.
Well, at least there's 17 slots in IMDb.
Okay.
I don't know if that
17. That would make sense.
Yeah. I've just had to move the little Dominator off my knee because she was trying to eat my headphones cable.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, actually, don't give her candy like Dominator because that's not good for cats. For chocolate, yeah, definitely don't give them chocolate. That'll kill them.
Alrighty, so we'll be interested to see how they break up Firestorm. I kind of was hoping that they would get a new person to be the second half because they've done that before in the comic books, but how cool with just one guy.
They could use Atom to break up Firestorm.
Who, what?
Atom.
Oh, Adam?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to come up with a way to do it, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a problem, though. If he could become Firestorm by himself, then they're not going to have any excuse that he can't become Firestorm because they're always trying to find ways to split them up so they don't turn into Firestorm.
Because in the comics, Firestorm is actually one of those really overpowered characters who nobody really could ever defeat.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. He's a little weaker in this show, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
When Zari, it looks like she was like kind of, for Halloween, but I was like kind of like the costume. So remind me, who exactly is this character? And did you say it's like a Mary Marvel or something with a Shazam?
Isn't it Isis?
Oh, is it Isis? Is that who? That's awesome if it is. Is that who she's supposed to be?
I think it is, isn't it? Ian,
again, folks, we mean the Isis character from the...
Yeah, before certain organization people kind of ruined that name. Let me see here.
I actually don't know a lot about... I know actually a decent amount about Isis, the goddess, the Egyptian goddess, because I studied that in school, but I don't know a lot about the character from DC.
Neither do I.
They had her on TV, right? No.
Yeah, they had a really corny 70s TV series of Isis, actually. That character.
Oh, yeah, God, I remember that. Yeah, that was corny.
Listeners Bay in the chat says, this whole time travel thing was a bit wibbly-wobbly this episode, I do admit.
Well, it's Legends of Tomorrow. It's always wibbly-wobbly.
Yeah, exactly.
It breaks more rules than Doctor Who, which takes some doing because Doctor Who breaks all of them.
You can't find anything about if she's Isis or not, Marx?
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble finding.
Well, Carrie says yes, she's Isis.
Okay.
So does anybody, maybe Carrie, you can tell us, does the character supposed to get her powers from the Egyptian goddess Isis? Is that like what she's supposed to gain her powers from? That'd be cool if it was. I'm not sure why I have to call her that.
The Shazam and Isis hour. That was the old TV show.
Oh, okay. So is she? Yeah, is she then? Was I right? Is she related to the Shazam, to that power? To the Marvel family?
From the Egyptian version, maybe.
Anyway, Carrie or somebody, tell us in the chat what's going on. We don't know. Carrie does say, I'm also remembering when Smallville had Lois as Isis. Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, did they really? Wow.
Because magic is the one thing that could harm Superman in that show.
Oh, yeah. She used to have...
You know, DC character I'd love to see come on to Even Legends or The Flash or something.
Who's that?
Zatanna.
Oh, God, yes. Zatanna. I love Zatanna. She's one of my favorites. She was on Smallville. They did a good job with her. That'd be great. Yeah, if the question was what, not villain today, but what hero, Zatanna would have been my answer.
Yeah, she would get magical strength, speed, endurance, wisdom, flight. I guess one of the unique things, she had telekinesis and some telepathy and stuff. Control over various aspects of nature. So yeah, she was kind of like a female version of Shazam in some ways. And first appeared in Shazam, number 25.
Cool. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Internet. Thank you. Luckily, Cayden James hasn't controlled the Internet yet, and we can still access it.
Good.
Yeah. He's not taken over the Wikipedia room yet.
All right, gonna do some ratings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Gideon's. 4 Gideons is the max. Ian, what do you give it?
I'll give it 3.75.
All right, 3.75 Gideons, Marks.
Yeah, I think 3.70, just to be a little different.
Oh, all right. Okay, hold on to your hats, folks. Don't faint. I'm going to give this 4 Gideons.
Whoa.
I've never actually. I think I might have given it a 3 one time in the past. Usually they're like 1s for Legends for me. This is the only time I've ever, because I actually don't think Legend. I think this is the best episode that's they've ever done. I have a hard time thinking they're ever going to do better than this. Like if, oh my god, I wish Legends was like this, because then I would be so happy to be behind the show and root for it. I don't think I'm going to keep getting this, but I'm very happy. At least to this week, I could get 4 Gideons. It was a very well written and well directed and performed show. Episode.
I'm shocked.
I know, right?
Shocked.
Well, look, they deserve it. If I'm going to ever give it, this is the week I got to give the 4.
I was kind of thinking before he came on, the most you'd give it would be maybe a 3.5. I wasn't thinking.
Nah, I went
4.
all out, man. Oh. Again, this what's on the Legends scale. Like, if I'm going to give it 4, it's got to be this episode for Legends.
That's a good one.
In the chat, Victor says, yes, that is what Legends needs. A woman in fishnet stockings with great legs. Zatanna reference. He's there.
She needs to be on one of the shows.
She totally has to be. I like the idea that she talks backwards. I just think that it's so simple, but it's a cool concept.
I just think she's, it's a really hot sort of like concept. Woman, longish hair, top hat.
Yeah, the costume's really cool. It's it's a sexy, cool costume. And she's always usually a fun character. Oh, by the way, Carrie, who knows well my feelings of Legends, he's a fan of Legends. In the chat, he just said, "What?" and then a bunch of exclamation points and question marks. I know, like I actually probably almost broke the internet by doing that, by giving that rating to it.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that Felicity, when she broke the firewall, she broke Jeff as well. She's completely reprogrammed.
Have you been hacked, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm actually an Android version of myself.
Cayden's plan is to make sure everyone like Legends better than the other shows.
That's the one.
I'm actually in an anachronism right now. That's why I like Legends.
Uh-oh.
Travel back in time, guys, and fix it, please. Anyway, in the chat, Victor says, I would rate it pi Gideons. Okay, so he would give it 3.14 Gideons.
Oh, cool. All right. Seemed like we all liked it, so, I mean, I think there's only one show left, right, Jeff?
Yeah, yes, there is. Also, Victor says she needs her own show. I think he means Zatanna. I would 100% watch a Zatanna show. I'm totally with you, man.
What about Zatanna and Constantine teaming up?
Actually, they could do the Zatanna show and use an old concept from the 70s. There was a show that Bill Bixby did back in the 70s. It ran for 1 season, and he was a magician, and it was called The Magician.
Huh.
And it was basically a magician who was also a detective.
This is the Incredible Hulk Bill Bixby, Bruce Banner, right?
Yeah, it's pre Incredible Hulk Bill Bixby, and it only ran for a season, I think. Because a lot of shows didn't last more than a season back then, unless it was soaps or cop shows. And basically he was a magician and he solved crimes. He basically moonlighted as a detective.
So he was like Ralph Dibny and Zatanna rolled into one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go over to our last show, which is Supergirl. So this episode is the 4th episode of season 3. It's called The Faithful, written by Paula Yu and Katie Rose Rogers, and directed by Dermot Downs. In this episode, Kara investigates a cult-like group and discovers they worship Supergirl as a god. Meanwhile, Sam feels she's not being a good mom to Ruby, and Alex decides she has to have children. All right. I think I mentioned earlier, by far I think this is Supergirl's best season in terms of the start. I've liked every episode so far. I think they're really clicking now, which is great to see.
I've not liked every episode. I didn't particularly enjoy the first episode, but I've liked every episode after that first.
All right, well, that's cool. Well, hey, I still like them all, though, so there.
Well, you're not allowed to like them all. You're not the real Jeff. You're the
right. I'm the anachronism.
Acronym.
It might be a plastoid too. We don't know.
Oh well, you just have to figure it out. Do some detective work.
Do some sneezing.
Watch out for his
nose. Your nose.
Yeah. So they explored a very interesting issue in this show, which was Kara being worshipped as a god and getting into the religious aspects of her past and stuff. I actually think that's a really cool concept to explore, because I can obviously very easily see Superman or Supergirl being worshipped as gods. That's even something they do in the movies, right? The whole thing with Superman being like a god. That's a cool thing. It's also, what I liked is they did kind of explore this kind of social religious issue without hitting you over the head with it. I actually felt like this is the way to do it if you're going to try to tackle stuff like that, rather than throwing it in your face like they like to do a lot. So I don't know. I thought they handled that very well. I thought it was a very interesting concept for Sutton Dakar to deal with. What did you guys think of that storyline with her, the whole group worshiping her as a god? Marx?
I thought it was a... Sorry, Max.
Oh, go ahead.
No, Ian, go ahead.
I thought it was actually a really good idea, and it gave more opportunity for us to see the more sort of like human side of Kara that we've kind of not really that we've gotten to see a bit more of this season in comparison to the all powerful "I'm going to kick your ass" Kara last season sort of thing.
Yeah, Marx, what did you think?
I think it was neat. It was something they haven't touched on that much in other episodes or comic books too often, and about a cult around a superhero. I like how they tied it into the very first episode of that event, and I think they did a good job talking about religion and showing good and bad sides of it, because you saw how the religion of hers got corrupted, but how it gives her strength and comfort, and other people were talking about religion whenever they had the girls' night over and stuff. They kind of mentioned it a little bit, and I thought that was a good way to touch upon a really important subject for everybody. So the spirituality and such. That usually,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, usually TV never covers. So usually, unless you're Daredevil, nobody knows what religion anybody is.
I thought the actor that played Thomas Colville, who was like the cult leader, I thought that actor did a really good job with it.
Yeah, actually, Lister's mate reminds me who that was because I was trying to place it. He says Rob Lowe's brother Chad was good in this episode. Yeah, that was Chad Lowe, playing Thomas Colville. He's supposed
to direct an episode too this season, I think.
Sweet. Yeah, I hope we see that character again, actually, because he did a really good job. That's a very interesting character. Interesting in that, obviously, I mean, I guess he's kind of a villain, but not really. I don't know. He's trying to do it for pure reasons, right? Like, at least to him, he's not trying to be evil. He's trying to help her, actually.
Yeah, it's a really interesting take, and I'm pretty sure he's 100% original. So I think it's a great new kind of character that this TV show has introduced. So.
Yeah, and Mark, you're right. A lot of shows TV doesn't tackle that. And my favorite show of all time, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, they tackled that all the time, and because Kira, who was like one of the main characters, and the Bajorans were very religious people, and Sisko was actually their like prophet, like a god almost to them. That's a show I think that blended science and religion extremely well. So it's not hard. It is hard to do, but when shows do it well, it works really well.
Yeah, and also with DS9, what I loved was when the emissary went into when with the prophets. Yeah, you had the explanation of linear time and non-linear time, and and in how Sisko was trying to explain it in the pilot episode and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that show. Lister's mate says, as a religious person, I have some issues with this episode, though. Religion is a difficult topic to talk about. It is, but please feel free to share if you do have some issues. Carrie says, Jimmy's story that he shared with Kara about being saved by Soups was powerful. I love this episode. I did like that story as well. Jimmy was like way better. It was nice to have Jimmy have some good stuff this episode.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, new religions get formed all the time, right? And like Scientology, for example, and if you had an individual with powers like super, flying around saving people all the time, I can see why people get tempted to want to make her a god. So I mean, Superman, a lot of the DC heroes, they get that reference all the time that they are kind of like modern gods in some ways, like from Olympian, from like Greek or
the modern Prometheus.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
It is. It's very realistic to think that people could worship them as gods. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what Marx was saying about new religions being formed all the time. A new religion was formed in the UK a number of years back when we had the last UK census, in that a bunch of people got together and says, let's see how many people we can put down Jedi.
I knew it, yeah.
And Jedi is actually now on it's now official as a religion in the UK because enough people put it down as a religion.
Yeah, I remember reading that a few years ago.
Yeah, I was one of them. I put Jedi down.
Wait, is that what you say is your religion on the census?
That's what I said on the census. I said it was a Jedi.
Were you doing it just to be funny? Okay. In the chat, Carrie says a DS9 reference for the win. Hell yeah, man! I love that show so much. My favorite show of all time. Listeners Mate says it's nice to know Jimmy is a God-fearing character. Yeah, it was a powerful story about Superman and the Jimmy shared. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was well done overall, and it'd be cool to see if he returns again. And I think I could be wrong, but I think this whole Rain thing is part of a cult kind of thing too. If they stay close to the original concept, so that might bring up religion again. Not that it wouldn't always be negative or something, but it could bring up a conversation both sides. So
yeah, we got. I mean, no, go ahead, Ian.
When she drilled the hole with her heat vision at the end, and the nuking a bomb or whatever, or the kryptonite with the bomb went down that hole sort of thing. It's almost like it's awakened something really, really dark, because it was hinted at that there's something that had awoken. You know, because of that.
Right. We saw that at the very end, the tease at the end, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that ship's tied. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm assuming it's tied to Rain, and I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have like, she's supposed to be a world killer in the comic books, but there are other world killers too.
Could be Darkseid.
So there could be other world killers. Some people think Doomsday is a world killer also, but she had her own group of world killers. So we'll see. It's not Darkseid.
I think it could be, because you got that multi-millionaire guy that tried to buy out. That's trying to buy. That tried to buy out Catpo.
You know,
and he's got connections to Darkseid. He's in the comics.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because Morgan Edge used to have, in some versions of him, he has a connection to Intergang, which is a criminal organization that's tied to, that gets weapons and stuff from Apocalypse, from Darkseid. So, but they haven't shown that yet. But yeah, that could be a hint to something to come in the future, perhaps.
All I know is that that hole is going to take a long time to fill in, man. That she made in the
right. Yeah. I hope they put a sign up.
Yeah, I think that probably would have caused a little bit more problems by drilling into the core or whatever it was.
Well, right. It's pretty homey.
In the chat, Lister's Mate says, when you show the cultist side of religion, it empowers that religion is a bad thing and shouldn't be dealt with because of the negativity of it. Well, I see what you're saying, but I actually think this episode did a good job of showing that religion can be very positive and powerful and important to people. Obviously, like, we actually got to see Kara talk. She really doesn't too much, right? Talk about like how important religion was to her, and see with her mother. And we even got a little shot of John with his father praying at the end as well, right?
He's like the Martian Pope.
Is his father supposed to be like the?
Yeah, he's some big religious leader. Yeah, that's why they didn't kill him.
Martian Pope. Nice.
Yeah, the Martian Pope is dope. Sorry.
Does that mean the spaceship car is the Pope Mobile, Martian Pope Mobile? Sorry.
It's ridiculous.
That'd be the Pants Mobile.
I think, showing cults, it could put a negative skew on of religion, But I think, but like you said, in the end, especially showing her praying and such, I think really showed the positive side to religion too. So
I think it was I think it was pretty well balanced, because we've seen the extremist side of religion, where that girl's boyfriend was prepared to jump into a fire to be rescued by Supergirl, to be sort of like indoctrinated into the cult side of it. But as you say, it did bring up the spirituality and the religious beliefs of the other characters. In terms of it, it gave the writers a chance to shine a positive light on that, while telling the story where religion had gone a little bit sort of like wrong, because there's extremists in all religions, and
Mm-hmm.
it often is a good and a bad thing. It's a bit like politics. It's a bit like whenever you meet someone new, you're sort of like cautioned, don't talk about religion or politics, and you should be okay.
Right. Anything can be taken to extremes and too far. In the chat, Carrie Johnson says, that rain outfit is incredible. Have you all seen it? I actually, if it means that there's going to be a rain outfit for the show, I actually haven't seen it, no. So I'm curious now.
I saw it briefly.
Oh, did you? Is it cool? Nice. All right, well, speaking of rain, actually, that's the next topic I wanted to bring up. Thank you, Carrie. So we got to see, there was a decent B storyline, here with Sam and Ruby and her, feeling she's neglecting her motherly duties because of her work at Elcourt. And then at the end, we saw her get all these tattoo and markings over her face right near the end, more of a rain thing. So I don't know, what do you guys think about her, the progression they're making with her?
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes.
Me too.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job with this character. She's probably going to become the main villain, most likely. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see how it happens. But they're doing a good job, showing us a lot about who she is and her relationship with her somewhat bratty daughter at times.
See, I don't know why. Oh man, am I the only one who likes Ruby? I don't think Ruby's bratty at all, man. I think the mom was ignoring her kid.
Well, she's trying to work, trying to make a living. I think the part where she went off and wanted to get saved.
All right, but that was the first episode. Come on,
that was a bit much.
I don't think she was bratty in this episode. She was like, "Mom, you promised to help me with my song." Yeah, that's a normal kid thing to want.
I know, she was better in this episode. I watched them, binge watched them, the catch up and stuff. I was, after traveling, so that's still fresh in my memory.
Yeah, that's just comes out of binge watching. You just take everything out of context,
That was so episode 1.
Yeah. Maybe you should binge watch them again, but in reverse order.
Okay. That'd be interesting.
That's the Bizarro.
Yeah.
The rain costume's pretty cool. I looked it back up again, and it's an interesting mask. I'm not sure how I feel about the mask, but it's an interesting outfit. So
I think the tattoos are pretty cool.
She doesn't have tattoos.
No, in this episode she did. Over her face.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen that. Did they ever do that in Smallville?
I don't remember.
Maybe just always on cave walls.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The cave walls, that was a big thing there.
Yeah.
Well, one thing Ruby did do is when she was singing, it kind of spurred Alex to, as she watched her, to realize that she absolutely has to have kids. And as we've been saying for weeks now on the show, at least since the beginning of the season, that's obviously going to be the thing that splits her and Maggie up. And this just, I think, obviously they solidified it here to really show. It was, I think, again, a very Kyler Lee does a really good job. Very well acted thing, I think, and the moment with her and Kara outside, I think was really good outside the auditorium. What do you guys think of all that?
I think the real Jeff called this one last week. And
I did. See, sometimes I get it right.
Admit, whoever's programming this android, Jeff, has done a really good job. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, well, he's obviously a plastoid double.
No, he means. I think he meant, what do you think about the episode, not about me. Maybe he meant me too. Jesus.
No, I think we know that they're gonna have to. It's really tough. This is like the most well done relationship that I think any superhero TV show period has ever done. Just about. And it's sad that they're gonna have to break them up because of realities of actor commitments or whatever.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna break them up, this is a very good way to break them up, where nobody's the bad guy. It happens in real relationships all the time. So
yeah, everyone's going to be sobbing next week, aren't they?
Oh, you think
next episode?
Well, I don't know if it's going to happen next week. Do you know it's
Mm.
going to happen next week, or you just think it is?
I just think it is. I think they've come this far. They may as well just rip the Band-Aid off.
Mm-hmm. It's probably going to happen pretty soon, though. You're right.
probably so.
In the chat, Carrie Johnson says, this Sandverse breakup when it happens is going to crush me. There you go, echoing what you just said. Actually, that's the first ship name I've heard of that. Sandverse. That works. They're taking their two last names instead of their first names.
That's good.
Sawyer and Danvers. Sandverse.
I just realised something. Could this actually be the last decent Supergirl episode that we've had? Because it's down here and it's listed as episode 52.
This is the 52nd episode. Why? Because of 52 in the DC stuff?
Could this be a bad thing?
No, stop it. Listeners Mate says he hoped that was Ruby's real voice. I think it probably was. That probably was the actress singing.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
And Victor says, I think it makes sense for Supergirl to have followers. How many times in history has that happened with strong leaders? Yeah, good point. Going back to the whole God worshipping thing.
Yeah,
I thought the scene at the very end where Kara visits Colville in jail and he's still sort of like convinced that she's a god and stuff like that. I thought that was really that was really good, and it kind of hints at the fact that they're probably going to use him again in the future.
It was, and also that he could see that there was something like she missing in her life, right? That she had a loss and she needed to get kind of back to where she needs to be. Like he could sense that. And as he was saying that, you could kind of see in her, I think, right? In her mind, she was realizing that he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She needs to get together with Jimmy. That's what it is. She needs Jimmy to Jimmy her back up.
Well, they tried that for 30 seconds for the end of first season. The second season.
Last one. He apparently sucks at kissing, I guess. I don't know. It's like, we're together, let's kiss. We should just be friends.
All right, anything else to mention about this week's Supergirl?
That it was a good one.
Absolutely.
This one and the last one are some of my favorite Supergirl episodes overall.
Absolutely. All right, let's do some ratings then. Out of 4 capes, I'm going to do 3.5 capes. Another strong episode. Marx.
Yeah, 3.5. Yeah.
All right, Ian.
I'm going to give you both heart attacks. 4 capes.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Nice. There you go. 4 capes. All right.
You know that Supergirl's always been my least favourite out of the DC shows. So it's kind of like, it makes sense. You gave Legends for Gideon. So.
So now either you also have to be an anachronism or an android, or we're both just normal.
Nah.
Are you all plastoids? What's happening?
Marx, you're the only one that's real.
I think
I'm the original Marx.
Jeff's an android, man.
If either of us asks you to kiss them, then we're plastoids, or we're aliens. We try to come on to you.
What?
Well, like in the Dominator thing, he was pretending to be his mother, Ray's mom. She was trying to.
This conversation's really getting awkward now.
Yeah. That's why you come on, Ian. You like these awkward conversations. All right, folks. So next week, I'm sorry, I haven't quite updated this screen, but the Amy Gumenek thing, ignore that. But next week, Carl Lumbly, who plays Jean's father, the Martian Pope, as Marx calls him, will be on our show next week. And then actually, yes, I think we rescheduled David Nickel, who plays Anatoly, to the week after that, to November 19th.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'll have him on again. So you can join us for that. There you go, Marks. Next week you can actually say, hey, has anybody called you the Martian Pope?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll love it.
And he'll be like, all right, see you later, guys. I'm leaving.
Because we think you're really dope.
Okay, we're definitely not going to do that. We're definitely not going to say that. All right, but that's going to do us. Ian, why don't you tell people where they can check your stuff out before we get out of here?
Oh, you can check me out at www.sci-fipost.net. And we have a regular podcast, of which, DC hours on it at sci-fipostradio.com.
All right, and Marks?
You find me over at marxpyle.com, where I have listings of the podcast I co-host called Genre Entertainment and my writing work and such up there. And you can also find me over Twitter at Mr. Marks. And of course, you can find me here occasionally on Super Geeked Up channel. It's DC Action Hour.
Yes, occasionally, every week.
And occasionally gaming.
And we at supergeekedup.com is where you can find all our stuff, of course. We got superhero comedy shows, geeky improv shows, gaming, like Mark's just said. Here's our full schedule. That was the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. And there's our full schedule. In fact, tomorrow night we're gonna complete our Dungeons and Dragons Halloween thing we started last week. We're doing some spooky Dungeons and Dragons adventuring. That's 8 p.m.
Ravenloft.
Yes, Ravenloft. Thank you. 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And if you dig our geeky stuff, we would love a little bit of support on Patreon. The site's right up on your screen there, patreon.com/supergeekedup. You can also find it on our homepage website. Thank you very much, Ian, for guest co-hosting once again. Always appreciate you stopping by.
That's cool. I really enjoyed myself.
All right, great. And all right, so
are they going to bring the real Jeff back next week?
I don't know. You'll have to tune in to see.
To see if he likes Legends or not next week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll probably go back to being not good, unfortunately. So, all right, yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. Great chatting here this week. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing those great comments. Hopefully some of you will see tomorrow for our gaming show. But if not, we will see you hopefully next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the latest episodes. And we're actually not getting closer and closer to the big 4-part crossover, Crisis on Earth X, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can't wait.
The last week of November, I believe, is when it's scheduled for. So there you go. Oh, actually, one last thing. I also like that Legends did a Halloween-themed episode on Halloween, and none of the other shows did anything about Halloween this week. I dig it when shows work that in to the thing.
Yeah,
so
I do too.
Cool.
That was good of them.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, that's it, folks. Yeah, we'll hope to see you next week. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye, everybody.